Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Death Battle reaction video. Today is what one of my friends has called the more modern day Naruto versus Ichigo, apparently. It is Yuji Itadori versus Denji Chainsaw Man. I know that's not his actual last name, but we made a joke about it in the Left 4 Dead video. Speaking of said Left 4 Dead video, I decided to have, well, I guess Tom, because he asked to be on for Yuji versus Denji. Everyone, say hello, once again, to Violet.
Hello, hello. Actually, you were the one that asked me to join in. Don't get it mixed up.
I, either way, this has been Violet's second most wanted episode of all time.
Yeah, it might as well be my number one because my actual number one is never gonna happen. So I'm gonna be very particular with how they treat these characters.
Speaking of, as per usual, how did you get into Yuji and Denji as characters?
Um, Weirdly enough, probably like through like the death battle community, I saw some like trailers for this matchup popping up. I was like, what the hell is that Denji design? That's wild. And then I started, and then I was also curious on this Yuji fella, like always right next to him. And so then that like inspired me to like get more into Chainsaw Man, more into I watched all of season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I've been keeping up with both franchises ever since. I liked both of the big Chainsaw Man versus Jujutsu Kaisen matchups. Gojo versus Makima was like, of course I was in tune with the debate because I think it's a very interesting debate. Even to this day, there's still like a lot of back and forth. And obviously Death Battle did it, and I was excited, I was happy. And now we're here in 2026, and they're doing the other big one, the one that I always personally preferred, that being Yuji Itadori versus Denji Hayakawa. That's not his actual last name, but it's what the fans use for his last name because of Aki.
I like what you called him in our Left 4 Dead video better, having Chainsaw Man as his last name.
Yeah, you know what? He's Denji Chainsaw Man.
Oh boy, I think both these shows and mangas are pretty damn good, especially the Chainsaw Man's one. Like, it's so brutal.
Yeah, I also... The Chainsaw Man manga, you really gotta read... It really, like, is really well written, despite the creator being a fucking weirdo. But, you know, that's kind of like the norm for mangakas at this point.
It also feels like that they're doing this matchup now, obviously, because Chainsaw Man kind of ended, because it ended like the day after Reze's preview went out.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be using end-of-series stuff for either. I think, like, Mojulo had, like, a little bit of, like... I think they could, like, bring up some parts of Mojulo.
I mean, worst case, it might be a black box.
Yeah, it'll probably be a black box. You know, we're probably not going to see Denji, man.
So, now the all-important question. Who wins between Yuji versus Denji?
I think it's a toss-up. It can go either way. You know, both can argue they get to the gigaton level ranges through the gun goddess's bullet, and I believe Kenjaku resisting the initial pull of a black hole also gets to that level. Even if he had to, like, use gravity manipulation to, like, prevent himself from actually getting sucked in, he still resisted the initial pull, which is enough to, like, also get into the gigaton range.
Mm-hmm.
So like strength is kind of like a toss-up. It can go either way. Both Denji and Yuji have ways to buff their strength. So strength is about like a tie, I'd say. Intelligence, Yuji is more skilled, Denji is more crafty and unpredictable. Like, Denji's battle IQ is like weirdly, it's like a JoJo, you know? They're like really creative with their powers and use them in the most unorthodox ways to like get the edge over their opponent. That's basically how I can describe like Denji's quote unquote fighting style when he isn't just chainsaw burr. But yeah, so you could argue skill being a toss-up because, you know, Yuji is objectively the more skilled and more experienced of the two, but Denji is so unpredictable he would be able to keep Yuji on the back foot. Speed is a lot less straightforward. Denji dodging
the Gun Devil, right?
Not the Gun Devil. The American flag flying into him from the moon, he was able to dodge that, which was calculated to be a little bit over the speed of light. Meanwhile, Yuji would at best scale to Dabura, who has like a sub-relativistic feat, but not that high into light speed. But, and there's also like stuff like Sukuna dodging EM waves, but like, even with those, like, admittedly kind of questionable feats, because Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the few series that actually treat faster than light as, you know, being an impossibility. But even with those, it'd still get lower. So, yeah. So I'd say speed goes to Denji, and that's really the big factor here. Yuji has better abilities, but I feel like Denji's unpredictability and speed advantage, plus his regeneration is, like, slightly better, at least in the short term.
So
that stuff lets me believe that Denji would win more times than.
So I don't recall the last time I was like this, but this is the time where I want to be wrong. Cause I said Yuji would win. I think Yuji is more skilled. He has the better abilities to put Denji down. But I like Denji more than Yuji. I'm sorry. I want Denji to win.
I feel like Denji is going to win because of the G1 prediction blog, and this episode feels so fucking Chainsaw Man from that thumbnail alone.
Yeah, like, obviously I think you can make a case for either, but obviously on Lads, I gave it to Yuji, even though at least me and Bill, when we were talking about it, we want Denji to win.
Yeah,
No.
it's definitely, like, on the closer side in terms of matchups. They can argue either winning.
With that being said, are you ready to watch the episode?
Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming it, so I can pause.
Yeah, so...
And, like...
Yeah, so apologies, folks, if it looks a little bit weird, but we're gonna do it Purple's way today.
Probably, yeah.
Yuji versus
Denji.
The vessel of Sukuna versus the Chainsaw Man.
He wears an iron boomstick, and Iron Star jobs to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Let's go, baby!
Yay.
If Yuji Itadori was one...
This analysis contains spoilers for the entire Jujutsu Kaisen manga and its sequel series, Jujutsu Kaisen Mojo. Many of the manga panels used are from TCB's fan translation over Viz due to being more accurate to the original text.
Okay.
He was strong. As his grandfather lay dying, he made Yuji promise to help others and not to die alone.
a promise Yuji would keep.
Full name Yuji Itadori, 83, old ass.
Is that from the, that's from, like, his, the continuation, right?
Yeah, that's Mojulo.
Okay.
Occupation, special grade sorcerer, former vessel of Ryomen Sukuna, likes Megumi, Nobara, Jennifer Lawrence, Yuko, seems and such, okay.
Damn, guys got taste.
Just like Sukuna, Mahito, mass murder, yeah.
By joining Jujutsu High, a school for up-and-coming sorcerers training to rid the world of curses.
Essentially monsters manifested by humanity's fears, hatreds, and anxieties.
Yeah, he's going to the school because he's slated for fucking execution. Why aren't you mentioning that?
They'll probably get to it later.
Why would they get to it? Ooh, whatever.
For Yuji. Unlike everybody else, he didn't have a magical curse technique. Oh no, he had something way worse.
After consuming a cursed finger, like a literal finger, Yuji became possessed by its original owner, the King of Curses, Ryomen Sukuna, the most powerful sorcerer in history.
And Yuji's willpower was the only thing holding Sukuna back from controlling his body, killing everything in sight, and taking over the world.
So Yuji got to know his surly new roommate, and perhaps one day he would show him a kinder, gentler path.
A classic shonen hero's journey if I've ever heard one.
True.
Yuji would track
Yep, and everyone lived happily ever after. That is fucking disgusting.
down and nosh on the rest of Sukuna's cursed fingers before they caused any more trouble.
Fulfilling his late grandfather's wish to use his strength in service of others, surrounded by friends.
True.
Is getting a first-rate education from the strongest sorcerer alive today, Gojo.
Gojo would teach Yuji to
I do like the.
Abilities and arsenal. Huh?
I was gonna say I like the font for Gojo. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Cursed energy, physical reinforcement, divergent fish, black flash, reverse curse technique, binding vows, barrier techniques, new shadow style, simple domain, domain expansion, blood manipulation, conversions, piercing blood, shrine, cleave, dismantle.
harness and manipulate the absolutely absurd amount of cursed energy he inherited from Sukuna.
Cursed energy is basically like evil ki, and
That's
Yuji
one way to
uses
put it.
To see invisible curses and enhance his aura.
Yeah, you explained it the exact same way in the last Jujutsu Kaisen versus Chainsaw Man episode.
Superhuman strength and martial arts skills he learned from his gramps, making him a monster in close quarters combat.
Yuji knows Taido, a Japanese martial
Okay,
art
I know I'm being a hater, but I really like this part. I always like it when they do this.
derived from Okinawan karate. It focuses
No,
on
it's-
agility and
no, it's always cool
flexibility
when you do
with the
this.
inclusion of spins, twists, tumbles, drops, rolls, and fleet footwork.
Which he combines with jujutsu techniques like Divergent Fist. Yuji strikes an enemy so fast that his cursed energy takes a second to catch up, hitting his opponent twice and messing up their rhythm.
By
Yep.
perfecting that timing and applying cursed energy within 1 microsecond of a hit, Yuji can achieve the Black Flash.
Yeah, who taught him that? Who like pushed him to try that? And you know,
I mean, it's a cool
sorry,
name.
I'm being a hater again. I'm just like really fucking pissed off that they didn't mention Widow.
Gojo stated out he can perform the Black Flash at will if all he needed was the timing. This shows the microsecond reactions are necessary for sorcerers to use Black Flash.
Increasing the power of his hit by a
Oh,
factor
you're-
of 2.5. A feat that would require
I didn't know it
reaction
was that
speeds
far
nearly
ahead.
1,000 times faster than sound.
I paused like a few times, by the way. You are definitely ahead of me.
It's basically impossible to do at will. You're so in the zone when you pull it off that it fully restores your cursed energy and boosts your output to 120%.
Yuji's
Ouch.
Black Flashes
Got
are
it.
so strong in particular, the author himself stated that 5 in a row would have been enough to instantly kill the special grade curse, Jogo.
I mean,
This, and this, and this.
He recreated 9/11.
How many has Yuji ever done?
Bro.
in a row, you ask? 7.
And that's not even the nastiest thing about Yuji's punches.
Because another soul resides in his body, Yuji learned how to target the soul itself, doing damage to a
I will say this fucking feels different from the preview. Like I still have a lot of issues with this analysis, but I will say, like, in terms of like the pacing issue that I had, there's a lot less pauses. It feels like they cut out a lot of the pauses.
I mean,
opponents who could normally regenerate from his hits.
Yeah, this
Yeah, I
picture
think,
was a jujutsu
they have a new editor in this.
Sorry.
I was saying there's actually a new editor in this episode from what I've seen.
Yeah, Jobber Godot. Trust me, he cooks hard. I've seen a couple of his stuff.
Gotcha.
He's a chef.
Perfect for Gojo's dream. You see, it's lonely at the top, and Gojo wanted to train a crop of pupils powerful enough to share the burden of reforming Jujutsu society.
That's Yuta's thing, not Yuji.
Until one fateful battle when Gojo was sealed away and Sukuna took over Yuji's body. Then proceeded to, well, commit that whole mass murder thing he was always going on about.
Yeah, turns out Sukuna is evil. Like, really, really, totally, completely, irredeemably evil.
And it also turns out that every twist and turn in Yuji's life was orchestrated by the body-hopping sorcerer Kenjaku in order to resurrect Sukuna and bring about the curse apocalypse.
In Yuji's eyes, something he was completely responsible for. And so, having failed his grandfather, Yuji's outlook shifted.
No longer would he fight to protect others, but to kill curses.
And after Sukuna
Damn.
hauled bodies into Yuji's best pal Megami, the King of Curses became numero uno on Yuji's shit list.
Yuji's defeated powerful disaster curses like Hanami and Mahito, survived being slammed so hard he cratered the earth, and is comparable to sorcerers like Maki, who tanked getting rammed through entire mountain ranges.
Yuji also learned how to use super advanced abilities like reverse curse technique to heal himself from crazy damage. Like getting his torso shredded into chili.
Boy.
And in some other sorcerers' cases, even regrowing lost limbs.
Though it takes a lot of energy to regenerate blood. So after going on a cursed object feeding frenzy, he learned how to manipulate his own blood to speed up his healing. Or fire it like a blood beam.
Okay, I will say that the analysis is picking up. I will say the analysis is picking up. I'm kind of fanboying right now.
I can tell just from
Due
your
to
tone.
Due to sharing the same physiology as death painting wombs, Yuji should be capable of replicating the regeneration, like SO regrowing his arm and Choso healing from holes in his chest.
A poisonous blood beam.
All of that combined made Yuji just tough enough to finally take on the King of Curses. Although greatly weakened after his victory against Gojo,
Rip. Literally.
Sukuna was
Ow.
still the de facto strongest being alive. But after hitting him with a Black Flash, Yuji actually copied Sukuna's main ability.
Gojo's plan all along.
This was Shrine. With it, Yuji can slice apart any surface he touches, an enemy's flesh, the ground beneath him, even the boundary between two souls in one body. Enough hits can even cause those two souls to separate.
Like a souped-up version of his normal punches.
Even better,
Ouch.
Yuji finally gained access to the most powerful weapon in any sorcerer's arsenal. A
Domain expansion!
Basically.
Yoichi Tenkai head ass. My domain expansion would be Wall of Text. I just constantly yap.
Bro, I don't
That
know.
is all.
Bro, what's worse, getting hit with a domain expansion or a Bankai, you ask? Answer, yes.
Well, Bankais are like just a buff, right? Domain expansion, it's like you're in their turf now. That is their location, and they got home field advantage.
That's
The pocket
fair.
dimension created by the sorcerer where their ability will hit no matter what. No contact needed. If you're trapped in Yuji's domain, you're getting sliced to ribbons.
With all his power and training and righteous fury, Yuji severed Sukuna's soul from Megumi's body, freeing his friend from the demon's clutches. But not before offering Sukuna one last chance at redemption.
Which he rejected before dying because, well, evil. Leaving Yuji to grow into one of the most fearsome sorcerers in history.
Turns out the
Modulo.
cursed objects that Yuji consumed made him part curse and slowed his aging to a crawl, giving him decades of training and battle experience.
He's mastered blood manipulation, can pull off black flashes at will.
Yuji is stronger than Gojo and Sukuna by the time of Modulo, and he should scale to their feats, like Gojo creating earthquake felt over hundreds of miles, and Sukuna vaporizing parts of Shibuya.
Ouch.
Rest in peace, Shibuya, bro.
Always Japan.
Always Japan, dog. It's always Japan with these series.
Always.
He's apart with Shrine. Just like Gojo and Sukuna before him, he became the strongest.
But what actually makes someone truly strong?
Feats surpassed Gojo, Nanami, and Sukuna's Black Flash records, dodged piercing blood, withstood Mahito cratering him into the earth, created 4-mile wild death's explosion with the dismantle, kept on fighting with his liver pierced, became a special grade sorcerer, defeated Esso, Mahito, Higuruma, and Sukuna.
For Sukuna, it was the power to stand alone atop all others. But to Yuji, it was the opposite.
The only reason he had survived as long as he had was because of the mercy and sacrifice of his friends.
So Yuji brought together friends and allies, new and old, to create a world eventually free from curses entirely, fulfilling not just Gojo's wish, but his grandfather's as well.
Because if Yuji Itadori...
I won't lie, that little walking cycle kind of looked like an invincible wobble edit.
Bruh,
I ain't gonna hold ya.
I was about to say, it's One Frame Man all over again.
No, it had more fucking frames than One Punch Man. That's
Bruh.
crazy.
We'll never forgive One Punch Man Season 3. Never.
Never. Ugh.
was one thing, he was strong.
I do.
Alright. Yeah, I have a lot of issues with that even now. But, it did pick up later on. Where were the feats, though? I didn't really see anything for Strang.
I guess the whole Mahito thing and, the black box, they'll probably mention, a post-analysis thing, is my guess.
Maybe.
I do like how it was ended, though. I think that was really good.
Yeah. Alright. Now for Dennis Buzzsaw Dude.
Wiz, if there are two truths in
This analysis contains spoilers for the entire Chainsaw Man month.
this world, two universal constants, it's these.
Life sucks and then you die.
Especially for the young boy, Denji.
Who was so poor.
Name Denji, age 18, height 5'8", occupation high school student, devil hunter, cannibal. Canonically sold one of his balls, likes Nayuta, Asa, themes and such. Dislikes cults, honey trap, vomit.
Unlucky.
Valid.
He doesn't even know his last name.
With an alcoholic father forever indebted to the Yakuza, and a diet consisting of whatever garbage he could get his hands on, all Denji had in this world was his dog, Pochita.
Who happened to have a chainsaw sticking out of his face? Really putting the tear in terrier.
Pochita
Ha.
wasn't an actual dog, obviously. He was a devil. Monstrous superpowered beings literally from hell that are created by and represent humanity's worst fears. In Pochita's case, literally the personification of chainsaws.
Oh, he's so cute.
He is very adorable. Pochita is a good boy.
Who would be afraid of chainsaws? They're the most versatile tool in the world. Perfect for chopping trees, opening cans, massacring your foes.
Apparently, Pochita
Highly,
had no
yeah.
problem with that last part, as he and Denji hunted down and killed his devil brethren.
It's a tough job, but when selling your testicles won't pay off your dad's debts, it'll do.
That is, until Denji was cornered and forced to learn about those two universal constants.
Life sucks and then you die.
Oof.
Sometimes, if you're really unlucky, there's a third option.
You get groomed.
Ow. Okay, that's a direction to go. And also fitting for the series, actually.
That is just kind of what happened to my guy.
No, yeah, you're right. Forget I said anything.
Yeah, no, themes and such.
Themes and
From
such.
his and Pochita's contract, a literal deal with the devil, Pochita would become one with Denji's body in exchange for Denji to live a happy life.
And so, the two fused into a half-human, half-devil hybrid, the Chainsaw Man.
Fuck.
AKA a one-man, blood-soaked devil-slaying machine. The perfect candidate for the public safety devil hunters, led by this piece of work.
Yeah.
With nothing in
That's one way to
control
describe her.
Bitch. Yeah, this fucking bitch.
Gojo, kill her again.
hormones, Denji would battle all
Yeah.
of devil kind in the hopes of one day getting laid.
And he was a natural at killing, not getting laid.
Damn.
As the Chainsaw Man, Denji can slice through just about
Valid.
anything and generate new chainsaws from any surface of his body.
Or swing him around on massively long chains. Oh man, that's so cool.
Say
Ha.
that again. Abilities and arsenal: devil physiology, blood-fueled regeneration, chainsaws, extendable chains, applicable to any part of his body, can turn objects into chainsaws. I forgot about that. Pochita, existence erasure via consumption. Denji Man, Denji and Pochita fully.
That sounds
Proof
like...
that Denji is inc-
That sounds like... Imagine saying that fast like the Pepsi Man jingle. It's like, Denji Man!
Yeah, that shit is horrifying.
It really is.
Yeah, he has these, like, little things called devil pawns, which are basically, like, very small devils that he, like, consumes to regenerate blood. And whenever he consumes them, they, like, represent, like, very, like, things you wouldn't expect to be feared. So, I forget specifically, but I think you erased the concept of legs through one of them.
You erase the fear of legs.
Not just the fear, the concept. Everyone's, like, everyone got gojoed.
Everyone just like...
Everybody on the planet got gojoed
Every-
because of Denji.
Everyone just like, well, now I can forever skip leg day. What's leg day? Exactly.
I love Chainsaw Man. It's so stupid.
It is, but in a fun way.
incredibly powerful, capable
Yeah.
of lifting and throwing cars, surviving being blasted through several buildings, and moving way faster than the eye can see.
And if he happens to get torn apart by some ornery devil, no biggie, because he can regenerate from just about anything.
Denji has survived being sliced to pieces, having his head torn off, being dipped in demonic stomach acid for hours,
Ow.
and even getting his heart ripped out.
Haven't we all?
Devil's innate regeneration should also make them resistant to poison. The violence fiend is constantly exposed to poisonous gas and yet remains unharmed.
Hmm.
Well, he's weakened, but I guess he isn't really harmed.
Chainsaw Man didn't regenerate his heart. Oh no, his heart regenerated a Chainsaw Man.
That is pretty sick.
Denji and Pochita won't stop them.
It is.
When Denji was stuck in
Chainsaw Man is the most metal as hell series possible.
It's like a more extreme Berserk. Let's be honest here.
Okay, I'd say it's like Berserk, but if Berserk is black and white, Chainsaw Man is like every color of the rainbow.
It's the Skittles version.
I mean, they changed the color of the blood a couple times, for themes and such.
True.
he and Pochita still possessed a metaphysical connection.
With their stomachs.
While his healing factor can be overtaxed, all he needs to do is drink some blood and he's back to full health.
And considering that chainsawing devils apart is basically an infinite blood exploit, he almost never runs out, only limited by the violence-induced psychotic frenzy he enters in combat.
While he's not actually crazy, Denji might be, okay, definitely is an under-socialized moron led by his dick,
Yeah.
but he's surprisingly clever in combat.
Almost always thinking outside the box and coming up with so dumb they're brilliant strategies to take on devils that should be too strong for him.
Oh yeah, extra little bit of context for this shit. I don't know if they're gonna, explain it. But, this devil right here is empowered by darkness. So Denji had the, 10 out of 10 idea to light himself on fire and just go onto her, as much as possible. So that she'd be weakened because of the light from the fire.
He became a giant nightlight.
Yeah. This right here. You see this devil right here?
Okay.
That's Santa Claus, by the way.
I beg your finest fucking pardon.
That's Santa Claus, by the way.
What is...
Anyway.
Dude, this series is fantastic if you guys have never seen it.
Go read the manga. Go read the manga and watch Go read the manga and watch the anime. Do both.
In short, Denji was the perfect soldier, and was rewarded for his efforts with something that began to resemble a happy life. Aki, the stern older brother, Power, the bratty younger sister, and Makima, his boss, and the girl of his dreams.
All Denji had to do to finally score with that dead-eyed redhead was to kill the most fearsome devils in existence, like the Typhoon Devil, who created a massive hurricane, or the Bomb Devil, who could blow up most of a city, or the Gun Devil, who could travel around the world and kill over 1 million people in about 5...
I recognize that edit from Bakugo vs. Reze.
They might have just reused
Canada,
it.
7 seconds, deaths 8,481. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna be one of these deaths, bro. Trust me.
minutes.
But, plot twist, he had to kill Makima too, because she was secretly the Control Devil,
Yep.
one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Everything she told Denji was a lie. The happy life he created, the family he made, all of it was designed to be torn down.
All with one goal, to force Denji to break his contract with Pochita and become her servant. Order 66ing every devil she didn't like.
Bruh.
When Denji did
Yeah. While Denji and Pochita have been separated for extended periods, this was because Denji did not want to rejoin. The two can reunite much more quickly if they want to.
break, Pochita took over.
Now, Pochi might look cute and cuddly, but the Chainsaw Devil is one of the strongest and scariest dudes in the universe, capable of tearing through hordes of devil hybrids like nothing.
More than enough to give Denji his opening to beat Makima by cutting her up into sashimi and eating her whole. A very similar solution to the Chainsaw Devil's most powerful ability.
Anything Pochita eats gets deleted from existence. Yeah, like it never happened in the first place. World
Yep.
War II? Gone. AIDS? Nada. Nuclear frickin' bombs? A light
I like that. One thing I love about Chainsaw Man is that, this here and this here are, made up to, immerse you into the series. I always like that. You cut out. Sean? I think Pochita ate the, Sean Devil, bruh. Sean?
Well, that stunk.
Oh, what happened?
No, for some reason it wasn't picking up the mic. You were right. The devil tried to eat me for some stupid reason.
You crawled out. It's fine.
I was about to say, like, I remember seeing that in Gojo versus Makima, like how Makima was defeated, and bro,
It's crazy.
that's Denji for you.
That's my goat.
Tasty afternoon snack, thank you very much. Forgive me, chainsaws. I knew not your power.
He also ate the Death Devil. Yes, Denji ate death, which means no one on Earth could die.
Oh, you think that's messed up? Let's talk about his next romance, Asa.
A sweet,
Hello.
shy, awkward girl.
Asa, bro.
Perhaps Denji's one true love, except for the fact that she shares a body with Makima's sister, Yoru, the War Devil.
Who herself is in love with the greatest warmonger of them all,
America!
the United States of America.
Bro,
Yoru was
really?
determined to use her love of the USA to drown the world in a ceaseless hurricane of blood.
Denji, buddy.
Shout out to the music in the back. That is peak.
Ever
Bruh.
considered maybe switching to guys or something?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Boomstick.
Come on, dude.
Because every single woman you meet has tried to kill you.
It was in
Valid
Denji's-
point, actually.
All right. Valid point, actually. I lifted the car and large chunks of Earth, dodged a spear traveling from Moon to Earth, took a nuclear punch to the face, regenerated from just his heart, outwitted the aging devil, survived a sword strike containing the massive dragon,
Oregon.
defeated Reze. Oregon. I thought that O was a D. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's fair.
Defeated Reze, Makima, Yoru, Santa Claus. Yeah, look. What did I say?
Why does every fictional media needs to have Santa Claus? It's an unwritten rule.
I mean, he's the most iconic fictional character of all time. You know.
That's very valid.
Wait, did I say fictional? No, I meant real. I meant real. Santa Claus is real.
Bro, you think kids are watching a reaction to like the bloodiest anime ever? Oh wait, yeah, JJK's rated PG-12. Never mind.
I mean, have you seen the kids on Call of Duty lobbies? Like, come on.
The horror. The horror.
The horror. Anyway.
Climactic battle with the War Devil that his and Pochita's bond finally matured, giving Denji full control of the Chainsaw Devil's power. A kind of Denji man, I guess.
Which he used to
Say that again.
kick the war devil's ass. And she was no joke, strong enough to shoot Pochita from across the globe with a
While most of Pochita's body was destroyed by the gun goddess's shot, he was incredibly low on blood and couldn't regenerate his arm. In the rematch with Yoru, Denji Man was enough to block several of Yoru's stronger bangs.
near light speed 2-ton bullet from the goddamn Statue of Liberty. Better yet, Yoru was so powerful, she turned Oregon into a sword. Yes, the state of Oregon. Pull the entire landmass into a blade, fly it over to Japan, and swing it at Denji. And
Bro.
it matched its powers.
Okay. All weapons made by Yoru, like the Aquarium. I will say, I am liking this analysis, but it's not really going into like Denji's like deeper character stuff. Like there is more to him than just chainsaw, brr. They'll probably go into it, but it's like
Just wait for other people's reactions to hearing the state of Oregon is a sword.
I can't wait for people who don't. I can't wait for Hoodie Dude's reaction, honestly.
Bro, he'll be going like, fucking excuse me, what? Damn, can you turn the state of Florida into a gun?
She probably could, yeah.
Ah, man. If you
All
couldn't
weapons
tell,
made by...
we love Chainsaw Man here.
Yeah, we all love Chainsaw Man here. All weapons made by Yoru, like the Aquarium Sword, contain the mass of the object or locality she has ownership of. Given her weapons gain power, the more attachment she has to the object, the Oregon Sword's power should exceed the Statue of Liberty bullet.
She also threw the American flag at him. The one on the moon. You know, the moon in space. in seconds, and he dodged it.
With the whole world
Nice.
literally falling apart, Pochita realized that becoming Chainsaw Man made Denji's dream for a normal life impossible.
Something Denji was always too stubborn and selfish to realize until it was too late.
So
Ouch.
Pochita did what any good dog would do. Eat himself and erase the Chainsaw Devil from existence, creating a new world without him and leaving Denji just Denji.
But maybe all this time, Denji was enough. Being Chainsaw Man could not save his loved ones, but being Denji could.
Because, sure, life sucks and then, yeah, you'll die. But while you're stuck in between, chasing your dreams with your buds can help make life worth living. All right,
All right. So who you got? Who you got, Shawnee?
I'm very confident in Denji now, like, and I still want him to win, and this has given me confidence to say I think he actually can do this.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities. It's time for a death battle! They did not texture those buildings.
Is that fucking
Wait, hold on. I want to read that newspaper.
That's fucking Liam, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw that shit. That was Liam. Notorious death battle man Liam Swan found dead. Themes the suchless. Okay.
Bro.
Thank you, Liam. Thank you, John Death Battle.
Poor Liam.
That is a damn good looking chicken burger.
I want one now.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh no.
Bro.
You're fine. You're fine. This wasn't my fault. I've never felt such weird cursed energy like his before. Say your prayers.
What do you think of the voice?
Hey. There's a devil in my heart. Yeah, I don't think I didn't hear that shit. That was there's a devil in my heart. Yeah, you know, I don't think I peeped that.
Music's a bop.
Yeah.
You're a chainsaw curse? Oh no! I'm the hero to all! Kicker of asses! Magnet to chicks! Half man, half devil! Chainsaw man!
What a line that was.
What a line. Bro is yapping his ass off.
Let's finish this! Chainsaw instant death technique!
That's my goat, bruh.
Batter up, pink-haired punk-ass bitch!
Damn.
Ow. Bro.
Good weave.
Nice.
I'm rooting for Denji, but like, I won't lie. That was a good ass weave, bruh.
Yeah. Well, that's clever.
Wait for it.
Wait for it, huh?
Damn.
I realized you had two cursed energy sources in one body, so I separated them. Speaking of...
Oh, so that's how they... Oh, so that's how they justify it. That makes a lot of sense.
Very nice.
Oh, that was tough. That was tough, bro. Damn. Bro, they just killed like 50 people at least.
They're all dead.
Domain expansion.
Oh shit.
Ooh, it's so cool. Literally, they're in the snowfield now.
It looks good.
You messed up, baby! Pochita and I are brothers! You'll never keep us apart!
Ow.
Damn. Is my goat gonna lose?
Oh.
Denji, come on.
Domain expansion.
Domain expansion kicks you in the nuts.
He's like, hey, I can do that too.
Fucking Yuji is not having kids, bruh.
Bruh.
finally got you to stop moving! See? We can be smart too, huh?
Ow.
Ass.
Oof.
Try it.
Holy shit.
Ow.
Oh, they're doing the thing! Oh, that's cool. That's cool as shit. That's cool as shit.
That was really cool.
That's cool as fuck, bro. Oh, he's just exclusively landing black flashes now.
Yow.
Damn.
Ooh.
A human and a curse. Brothers. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, that's my peace sign, bruh.
All right, Pochita. I wonder if that burger place is still open.
Bro.
That's my goat, bro. That's my goat. He is not putting his series like 0-3, bro. He's giving them their first win, dog. That's my goat. That's my goat.
I have never been more happy to have been wrong.
Also, every Jujutsu Kaisen character has lost, with the sole exception of Satoru Gojo, of course.
I just hope fans don't. Well, maybe don't talk about why Sukuna what can't be used in like a fireside, obviously, but like for the casual audience, I hope they don't complain about Sukuna not being a factor.
People are gonna complain no matter who won.
Eh, true. Let's see why Denji wins.
Dennis.
No! If Yuji Itadori was one thing, he was strong. Just not strong enough today.
Let's break this down into 4 chapters. Their speed, skill, abilities.
All right, prediction. Speed, that's going to Denji. Skill, that's probably going to Yuji.
Yes.
Abilities are probably going to Tai, and then power is going to Dennis.
And power.
Probably.
First
I
up,
love that.
Who was faster?
Yuji's greatest speed feat is the Black Flash. In order to apply cursed energy within 1 microsecond of a strike, Yuji would have to move and react at over 900 times the speed of sound.
Insanely fast.
Sukuna
Impressive.
contends with Kachimo's EM waves and Jacob's ladder, but his relative speed is unclear. He could have avoided EM waves before they were fired. Hiring calculations of the Moon Spear puts Denji faster than both.
But remember that time Denji dodged that flag that Yoru summoned from the moon?
The
one
moon.
That's over 200,000 miles away?
Considering Denji's position from start to impact, all while in the midst of a fast-paced battle, this must have happened in a matter of seconds.
We'll lowball it and say 10. Though it
That's
would
fair.
probably have to be faster to use against Denji in a fight.
This means the flag must have been moving over 12% the speed of light.
Over 100 times faster than the Black Flash.
Now, Yuji has gotten significantly
Yuka's Maharaga is confirmed to be stronger than the one Gojo battled. Despite this, Dabura outsped and overpowered it with his light technique. So not even top tiers in Jujutsu Kaisen reliably scale, especially since it was a technique and not Dabura's natural speed.
stronger since his adolescence.
Yeah.
But we know for a fact that in Jujutsu Kaisen, relativistic speeds are something humanity has explicitly not yet achieved.
So it's pretty clear that Denji takes speed.
Yeah.
However, Yuji has made a career out of going up against enemies far out of his league by relying on his skill.
And what a career it's been! He defeated the King of Curses all before he was even an adult, and he continued to train and master his jujutsu techniques for decades.
Whereas Denji, while certainly a clever unorthodox fighter, would often get by due to his sheer stubbornness and durability more than anything else.
With
Fair.
Yuji's greater experience
Yeah.
and martial arts combined, he was definitely the
Yeah,
more
that makes sense.
skilled fighter.
Like that was no
What wasn't as clear
contest.
cut Was who had the better
Yeah, well, I would say it was like kind of a contest. Denji is like surprisingly crafty, but yeah, it makes sense he'd get skill.
abilities.
Specifically, how well they can cut each other and how well they can heal from being cut. So I guess it's their cut ability.
Bro.
Pretty insane wounds, though Denji's devil healing factor was superior.
The most Yuji has ever healed were some big slashes against his stomach.
And while other similarly powerful sorcerers like Gojo could regenerate lost limbs, Denji could regenerate almost all of his body from a single cord pull. That
Denji's poison resistance and regeneration countered Yuji's poisonous blood, as death painting wound poison has been cured through reverse curse technique. Denji would have little issue drinking Yuji's blood or powering through blood manipulation.
being said,
Gotcha.
Yuji's soul target
I really wish that we had like a moment where like Denji or Pochita like ate the piercing blood and then threw up because it's poisonous.
That would have been
I wish
funny.
that was a moment.
That would have been
funny.
cool, but I prefer the kicks to the nuts domain expansion moment.
That's got to be like top 5 moments of all time, bro.
At least this year, it's my favorite moment of a fight so far.
Yeah.
Attacks have done lasting damage against those with superior healing like Mahito.
Not just that, but literally splitting 2 souls apart. That's how he beat Sukuna, and he could potentially do the same thing to break apart Denji and Pochita.
However, it's not so simple. Sukuna was already severely weakened at the time, and it took Yuji several hits to separate him and Megumi.
And on top of that, even if Denji and Pochita were split up, we know they keep a metaphysical connection when apart. In fact, they were split up when they were fighting Makaba, and they had no problem rejoining. No reason they couldn't do it again here.
However, Denji's healing factor isn't unlimited. He'll need blood to heal eventually, and the range and speed of Yuji's slashes would force Denji to tank them to get up close.
Even if he could,
Yuji could theoretically block Denji's chainsaws by coating his hand in slashes, but Denji's greater speed means Yuji couldn't react in time. Pochita often begins fights by speed limiting, such as in his battle with Rock.
his healing factor wouldn't last nearly as long against Denji's chainsaws. But then Yuji could back off, Denji chase him, and so on.
Like an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, neither had a clear edge in punability.
So what it ultimately came down to was power. Who could do the most damage and wear the other guy down first?
Yuji slicing apart an entire city is one of the most impressive feats in all of Jujutsu Kaisen. By measuring the clouds of dust created in his attack's wake, we can estimate he launched over 5.5 million tons of debris into the air.
Ow.
This kind of force is equivalent to over 3 megatons of TNT.
That seems like a ridiculous highball, but you know what? Fuck it, we ball.
Comparable to a hydrogen bomb.
But unfortunately for Yuji, while he could cut apart a city, Denji was Oregon level.
The state of
We have a new scaling level, everybody. Oregon level.
Yeah, you know, fuck country level. Yeah, we're specifically gonna figure out the exact range of like tons of TNT that can like take apart Oregon specifically, and we're shoving it in there. Yuji's dismantle could reach greater yields depending on the dust density used. However, even the highest options would be dozens of times weaker than Chainsaw Man's best feats. These feats also surpassed Yoruzu's construction technique and Kenjaku's durability.
Largest in the Union by total area, nearly 100,000 square miles. By estimating its volume, Yoru compressed a mass weighing over 750 trillion tons.
Ouch!
One swing from that sword would hit with an energy of over 30,000 megatons of TNT.
Which is like 10,000 hydrogen bombs. And not only did Denji survive a swing, he straight up overpowered it. That's insanely strong.
Yeah. Also, people, they're not calculating Yoru condensing the sword. They're calculating how powerful the sword would be per slash. Okay? I know the like actual condensing would be like way higher, but like shut up. Dabura ramming Maharaga at near light speed seems similar to the gun goddess's shot. However, with greater mass and similar speeds, the bullet's kinetic energy surpasses Dabura's. Yuji implied he could defeat Dabura, but was unaware of the latter ever-growing strength against Maharaga.
But not inconsistent. Like the time Yoru fired that globe-spanning near-light-speed bullet from the Statue of Liberty.
Sure, Yuji's citywide dismantle was done casually, but so was Yoru crumpling Oregon. Yuji's dismantles would need to be 1,000,000% stronger to do significant damage to Denji.
Especially with...
Oh wait, despite never using them, Yuji should have access to Cleave and Divine Flame. However, they both have a narrow range of effect and rely on the user's cursed energy output. Cheetah regenerated from being bisected by the Origin Sword and withstood the heat of atmospheric re-entry, countering both abilities. Holy corner boxes.
Bruh. They have to go out with this.
Yeah, they kind of have to. Like, this is one of those episodes that... I think this is a good conclusion. I think this is a good conclusion.
Yeah.
Chapter 2.
Denji takes the final edge in power. All Denji needed was one good hit to finish the fight. And with his far greater speed, it was only a matter of time.
What can I say, Yuji? Denji's just got that dog in him.
The winner is Denji, the Chainsaw Man.
Congrats,
Chainsaw Man!
Claps for Denji. He did it.
Woo! Yay, Denji! Denji, yay!
Bro, like, before we see the next time, dude, like, holy shit, Denji. Well done.
Yeah. Well done, Denji. You know, they didn't really cover your themes and such, but, you know, That was how Denji fights. Like, that felt like Denji.
So many good moments in this, but we'll dive more into that in a bit after I see this next
I
time.
also wanna like I also, before we see the next time, I also want to like say I am glad that this episode had a lot of like close quarters choreography. We don't get that a whole lot nowadays.
Yeah, because everyone prefers like magic or range, honestly.
Yeah, people prefer like big moments, which that's fine. I love big moments, but like I also love like tight knit choreography, and you can really tell that this episode was about the choreography
True.
first and foremost, and the banter. You know, because like these characters are peak. I need that fucking track injected into my veins, though.
It was a bop. It was a real bop.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, next time. I know what this is. You don't. I'm curious on your reaction.
Let's see here.
I'm on Death Battle.
Oh.
Subscribe and join
The Sentry versus Superboy Prime.
Oh yay! Everyone's gonna bitch and whine about it being a Marvel vs. DC episode.
I don't think like the problem is that it's Marvel versus DC. I think the problem is that the matchup's kind of boring to me.
Oh boy. But still, it's been like 3 years since we got the Marvel vs. DC episode at least. So
Yeah.
But
I ain't complaining too much because I love both characters, but it's like, you know, for our first back into like Death Battle's bread and butter series comparison, you know, I wish it was like Sandman versus Clayface or something, but you know what, I can't complain too much. You know, I love Sentry, I like Superboy Prime, yeah.
So, how did we feel about the episode of Yuji Denji overall?
Okay, the start is like... Okay, I'm gonna end OBS now. The start is, like, mega fucking rough. Like... It is, like, a really, like, rough, around the edges, episode. Because, like I said, they're just not bringing up stuff for Yuji that, like, I liked. And it overall just makes the episode feel, like, very Yuji heavy. Or, not, very Denji heavy. Rather.
I think that's a fair criticism. I did like Denji's analysis, though. Like, I thought they did pretty good, all things considered. Not perfect, obviously, but pretty good.
Yeah, there was definitely, like, a lot of, like, for lack of a better term, themes and such that they could have brought up for Denji.
And the fight, I enjoyed it.
It was good. They acted in character... They were awesome sauce.
Bro, like, especially, like, Denji just being like, domain expansion, kicked in the nuts.
That moment's gonna be, like, in my... That moment's gonna be in my brain forever.
Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. Not my favorite of this year, but, like, definitely top 2. Or top 3.
Yeah. I think it might be my favorite of this year. I don't know. I'm gonna...
Really? That's surprising given what you were saying about it.
Well, that was just like the start. It picked back up. I don't know if I can give this episode a 10 out of 10 in good heart, but I think it's at least a 9, at least to me.
Yeah, overall, I think this was a good episode. Really good, and hooray for being wrong.
Funny coincidence. Also, really funny coincidence. Debate Club did a Denji matchup like a few years ago, and the fight started by Denji going into a burger place.
Ha!
And he lost, so...
Oh boy. So, overall, really good episode.
Yeah.
Definitely makes up for last time because I did not really enjoy last time.
I liked last time, but it was definitely, like, disappointing.
Next time on Death Battle, we have the Sentry versus Superboy Prime.
2 characters I like. That's all I got.
I have very little investment in either, but you know what? It's been 3 years since we had Marvel vs. DC as an episode, so it's something. It'll be nice. But
yeah, I guess.
That's just my thoughts at the moment. Obviously, I'll talk more on last discuss Death Battle. Obviously, because Bill's a big comic book guy, so he'll probably have more to say than me and Mate, probably.
Yeah, I will say, I think Superboy Prime is gonna win really fucking easily.
Well, what do you folks think? Who do you got in the next time? Do you got Sentry or Superboy Prime? And what did you think of Yuji versus Denji? Do you agree Denji wins? Or do you disagree and say Yuji should have won? No diff. I don't know what versus people say.
Yeah.
And big round of applause. Violet, thank you for joining me for today's reaction.
Yeah, I just have one thing left to say.
That's how we'll end the video. Go ahead.
Thank you, Death Battle. Death Battle? Because, you're a battle to the death? Oh, yeah.
Bruh.